Hello, everyone, and so good day in other parts of the world. Hello, Vietnam, good evening, and hello, Singapore, as well as the Philippines and all parts of Asia. My name is Jethro Asia Silayo. I am your international pageant coach and catwalk trainer.
And I'm Brian Bacon. I'm the CEO of RJ Company Incorporated and an international catwalk director. We welcome all of you tonight for us to get up close and personal with our reigning queen, who managed to bag a total of 8 awards and major awards in the international competition, which is Mrs Petite Global 2025. Let's all welcome our reigning queen,
Miss
Madeline
Madeline
Poh
Poh.
from Singapore.
Okay, so hi.
Hi everyone, my name is Madeline Poh from Singapore, your Mrs Petite Global 2025.
I mean, how's it been so far after winning the crown?
Yes, so after winning the crown, it's been busy. I'm trying to plan out my year and really try to squeeze in as many activities that I can so that I can give back to the community, promote the title, and really inspire women everywhere.
Oh, that's great.
But before we go into the details of the feelings and the nerve-wracking moments in the pageant, may we ask, who is Madeleine Poh prior to joining the pageant?
I think prior to joining the pageant, Madeline was a very insecure girl who didn't have the confidence to be on stage, to really speak publicly, and didn't really know how to carry herself before she joined all these pageant, which really helped to propel her into womanhood, teach her about makeup, teach her about how to carry yourself, how to dress, and it has made a whole world of a difference. And I think I started my pageantry journey in 2023. Now, 2 years later, I have really improved tremendously in terms of my catwalk, in terms of how I speak in public, and I'm really proud of it.
Oh, you brought about insecurity, right? And so, while you're talking like on the stage, and when I met you, when actually we met you, it's like there's no hint of that. So how do you develop that confidence? Because I've been insecure myself before, and there's no easy way to handle insecurity. Like even if people are saying like, no, you're good, you look nice, or you speak really nice, but then hindsight, you have this. Are you just like trying to like patronize me or what? But I know for myself the fact that I am not good because when you see a lot of people who's doing good or better than you, it's like, no, I'm not. So how did you manage to handle those or the insecurity that you have?
So for me, I think really I've grown to understand that self-confidence is the first step to success, and it requires a mindset shift into telling yourself, okay, even if it's not going to be perfect, I'm just going to keep trying until I become the best version of myself. And for me, I think I'm also going to make a video about it on my social media. But from my first two pageants, the way I spoke in public, I fell short of my own expectations. So I thought that I could just go on stage, wing it, and just think on my feet. But actually, there's so much preparation that needs to be done off stage to be confident on stage and be able to speak eloquently and be able to know what it is that you're speaking and answer the question. And for me, I think that is something that I really worked on for this pageant, and it really has made a huge difference.
On the hindsight, you're a very successful lawyer, but what led you to join to pageantry? Why? Can you tell us more, and how and when did you decide to join pageant?
Yes, so as a child, I've always watched on television, the beauty queens, striding on stage with confidence and being very elegant and speaking with eloquence on stage. And I felt that I've always wanted to be one of them. And I didn't really have, in my head, there wasn't any appropriate time to join beauty pageants. Either, I was not at my peak fitness level, I was not, my peak body physique. I had no time, I had other things that I needed to do. And I think I've always wanted to join beauty pageants, but there wasn't a right time to do it. And I was supposed to get married, like I think around in my head 30 years old or 29, but that got pushed forward 2 years. What was looking through my bucket list of things that I wanted to achieve before getting married, and I realized, oh, pageants is one of them. So I went to research into pageants, and I realized, hey, actually, if you become married, you're only eligible for marital pageants. You can't join like Miss unless certain pageants do have a wider criteria, but most of them, it's only for single unmarried women. And I think that was why in 1 year I joined 2 beauty pageants just so that I could squeeze as much experience as I could before I got married. Yeah.
Okay. So basically, like we have some friends who are models, but then they haven't had the chance to really do like pageantry, and so the moment that they're ready, their age isn't anymore, So because they're really like supporting their family and working too hard that they forget about themselves, So when they're already finished or done taking care of the family and now they're ready to give what they deserve, like pushing forward for the pageantry and giving their dreams a reality, then there's a time that, oh my god, I cannot join pageants now. What are the pageants that you've joined in the past years?
So in 2023, I joined Miss Singapore International. So that was the first ever pageant that I joined. And then right after, I joined Miss Grand Singapore 2023.
Then after Miss Grand Singapore?
Yeah, 2024, Mrs Petite Global Singapore, and then 2025, Mrs Petite Global.
Is there any specific person that influenced you or discovered you and then for you to join the pageant?
I think for me, the most prominent figure, that has really guided me and is somewhat like my mentor is my national director, Madeleine. So she is the director, the founder of AO Ventures, and she was the one that organized Miss Grand Singapore 2023. And then from there, I walked with her through that journey for Miss Grand. And even though I may not, have clinched the top title, and then she saw potential in me, and she knew that I was going to get married. And then we also discussed about possibilities for maybe me it being representing Singapore for marital pageants. And that's how, Mrs Petite Global Singapore came about. So I really have her to thank for everything that I am today. All her guidance, all her tips have really helped me to clinch the title that I have today.
You know what? I got a chance to check her profile. She's so beautiful. Like I think she's a model herself, right? Or a beauty queen herself. And for her to give chance to other people to fulfill their dreams. You know what we always say, right? The foundation of what we do is, some people just don't believe in you, but then it doesn't matter if there's like 100 people who doesn't believe in you, as long as there is one.
At least one.
At least one who believe in you, Okay, these 100 people doesn't matter anymore. I don't care. But this person who believes in me, with her believing in me, it gives me like an extra boost, of confidence that, okay, I'm going to do it. So that's really, good. I mean, nice of her, and that's why she's blessed. She's being blessed as well, So okay, now going to like a little more formal. So you are a lawyer by profession. So what is your specialization?
So my specialization is divorces, so like family law, children issues, divorces, and also another area that I like is estate law. So that is like, when someone passes away, we help to get the relevant orders from court so that they can distribute the estate. We deal with like inheritance, all of that. Yeah, so those two are my main specialization.
Wow.
Actually, being a lawyer takes a lot of time, and you having a family also takes a lot of time. And adding another one, being a queen at that, is a lot of time as well. So how are you managing all of this into your life?
I think I'm very blessed to have, in terms of career, I have a very supportive boss as well as colleagues, who have supported me since my very first pageant, Miss Singapore International, all the way until today. And I'm also very blessed to have a supportive family and husband who flew down to, KL to support me for the finale, and my husband who has been supporting me by driving me to my errands, picking up returning gowns whenever he can. And I really appreciate all this little support here and there that have really energized me, as well as helped to elevate some of my, burdens in a way also.
Actually, yeah. Joining a pageant isn't like a one-man show, So sometimes we say like, no, I did it by myself. But then, those things I'm like, are you sure you don't have assistants? Like you don't have people who are, helping you here and there. And so, I really love the fact that you acknowledge all this help that you get or the support that you get from, from the community, from the family, from your bosses, You juggle the family life as a married woman, your career, your duty as a daughter as well. Is it your personal choice to be a lawyer, or are you did it because it's a long time dream? Here in Asia, right? Like in the Philippines, like you're doing it because that's the dream of my mom for me. With you, like, is it your personal choice to be a lawyer?
I think from young, I didn't, it wasn't like something that I had in mind always. I wanted to do business, which was more of a versatile degree, and my father has a business as well. And I think for me, when I was younger, law didn't seem very attainable because, I don't feel that I was smart enough to be a lawyer. But I think what helped me was my then boyfriend, my ex. He wanted to apply to law school, and then I was like, okay, let me try as well. So then I tried to apply. We did the interview, we did the written test, and then I got in, much to my surprise. And I think from there, I realized, hey, actually, I really love law. It's just that I was, I didn't have the confidence to tell myself that I am worthy of this, that I deserve this, that I can aim for this. And I didn't want to the moon because I was scared. But I think I'm very grateful that, he motivated me to at least give myself that shot. And I'm glad that, law school decided to take a chance on me as well. And I flourished into a lawyer, and I'm loving my career.
Okay, that's really, interesting. So, okay, being a lawyer is so difficult, right?
I think it's very difficult. It's like a lot of time. It's time consuming, I think.
Okay, you have a question for her.
I definitely have. Do you think being a lawyer have an effect into you winning the crown?
Yes, so I think definitely my background as a lawyer does give me a bit of an edge because, in as a lawyer, we have to speak, right? We have to articulate, we have to put across our ideas and express ourselves. And that is something that is very important in pageants. You need to learn how to carry yourself, be able to speak your mind, but of course, at the same time, be empathetic and make sure that everyone, no matter, whoever in whatever country, they're able to understand your message as well. So I think definitely being a lawyer has helped me, especially when, in terms of my advocacy, is closely linked to my career as well. Because what I want to do is to increase access to justice. And as a lawyer, I'm in the best position to do that and to raise awareness, to contribute to the community through pro bono services. And I hope to make the law more accessible and less intimidating for all. Yeah, so I think in that aspect, it does help in terms of public speaking as well as my social advocacy cause.
Very well said. To be
If we have another crown here, we will give you another crown. Very well said. There's a lot of bashers as compared to those people supporting your journey. So how do you handle bashers?
How I handle bashes? I mean, thankfully, I haven't, not that I'm aware of, I haven't encountered any. But I think for me, to handle bashes, I think for everyone as well, is to really be confident in your own self-worth and really understand that, the that you need is from yourself. And then from there, you will understand that, everyone can say what they want, they have their own opinions, but ultimately, you need to understand and believe what is the most important to you.
Okay. So, okay, next question, okay, before we go to, the second part of this interview, what is the most challenging experience of being a lawyer? Like personal
I think
experiences.
okay, so for me, because I'm a divorce lawyer, so I'm dealing with really high intensity kind of cases. There's a lot of emotions involved, and that is why I've also ventured into divorce cases, because I think those are the ones that really more emotionally profound and require more tact and more empathy towards clients. And I think it's twofold, right? I try my best to be empathetic to their situation, help them through this difficult time, empower them. But at the same time, it can be challenging because I may take on some of their emotions as well, and I try to set boundaries, whether it's mental boundaries, to make sure, okay, when I come home, I'm not gonna carry their grief, their burdens with me, and it impact my own marriage as well. So I think for me, that is something that I had to learn as well, because I think I've always been a romantic, but after being in this field for a couple of years, I was a little bit adverse to getting married. But I think ultimately, when I saw my friends get married, she's also a family lawyer. She also did divorces and all, but she still believes in love. I think that helped me realize, hey, just because some marriages fail, doesn't mean some cannot succeed. And even if ultimately it did fail, you all did share a wonderful, love story together, and that should still be celebrated. Yeah.
You know what? Once this video, we'll post it out there, and I think most of the people who will hear this will get like an idea, or will be inspired of how work-life balance is. You yourself, like you said, some marriages don't work, but it doesn't mean that mine wouldn't work, right? So it's really depends on how you really talk about things, like healthy communication.
Xin chào Vietnam, I'm Madeline Poh, your Mrs Petite Global 2025.